1958, 31st March till 7th April in Delhi, there was All India Dance Seminar. First time, all the galaxy of the dancers were there. Right from Rukmini Devi, Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, Bala Saraswati, Harmada Jayamma, Lachu Maharaj, Birju Maharaj, Shambhu Maharaj, Amobi Singh, Guru Bipin Singh, Javeri sisters, Yakshagan Kes Karan, Maheshwar Yoga of Satriya. I had never thought I'm going to see all this thanks to Mohan Khokar and Mulkraj Anand. And then Mrinal came there. And what Mrinalini presented, we are going to see in the film. The film was made much later. We only had some recording when we are considering to make the film of interviews with Sangeet Natak Academy, and when Sangeet Natak Academy turned 50, we had some dancing of Mrinalini, which we'll try to show in the end, because in the film, we don't have Mrinalini dancing. But what Mallika has done, she has recreated the choreography of Mrinalini Sarabhai, in which she took also part, and she was part of it. And marvelously, the whole company of Darpana has created what Mrinalini used to perform and present as a dance drama or new choreographic verse, etc., which has been captured by that wonderful young man called Yadavan Chandran, whose father is very well-known Chandran from Kerala, and Mallika together. And it was filmed in a small studio with excellent camera, lighting, design, etc. We were quite worried about it, that how is going to work out. But Mrinalini said, no, I'll speak. She was already by that time 94 or 96. But she comes, sits down quietly and explains what she's trying to show. And Mallika takes over and explains everything. Let's start with the film now. It explains the time when Mrinal had come on the scene and who were the forces were performing at that time, who were the opinion makers on the political scene. It's true, yeah.
(1949).
Tom Alter gives
Samuel Putnam publishes his new translation of Don Quixote, the first in what we would consider modern English. The People's Republic of China, the Federal Republic of Germany, and the Democratic Republic of Germany come into being. Nathuram Godse and Narayan Apte are executed for assassinating Mohandas Gandhi. Death of a Salesman opens in the Morosco Theatre and runs for 742 performances. Grady, a 1,200-pound cow, gets stuck inside a silo on a farm in the United States. The first half of Verdi's opera, Aida, conducted by Arturo Toscanini, is telecast by NBC live. George Orwell's book 1984 is published. English astronomer Fred Hoyle coins the term Big Bang during a BBC radio broadcast. A young Indian woman called the Hindu atomic bomb takes the world by storm. Her name was Mrinalini Sarabhai.
Anum dum danaganum dattaganum dadaganum dum danum dada. Anum dum danaganum dattaganum dadaganum dattaganum.
Bharatanatyam's history spans over a millennia, with the 11th century temple of Chidambaram in South India showing dance poses still performed in the style. Over the centuries, Bharatanatyam remained a temple dance, danced in the sanctum sanctorum of temples by solo women dancers wedded to the deity as part of religious offerings.
Anum danum dum dana.
By the late 19th century, the form had fallen from grace, helped by the prudish policies of the British rulers. It was during Bharatanatyam's darkest days that Mrinalini was born in the British Presidency town of Madras to Dr. Subram and Ammu Swaminath. From a very young age, she showed a deep passion for dance. However, there were no schools to teach classical dance, and she had to spend years in a village with a guru, many hardships. She was a pioneer among those who gave classical Indian dance its respectability once more and showcased its magnificence to India and the world.
Mrinalini Sarabhai was the pioneer among Indian contemporary dancers. She had studied classical Indian dance forms, Bharatanatyam, from no less a guru than Guru Meenakshi Pillai, Muthukumaran Pillai, and Kathakali from Guru Kunjukuru. But she was already a legend when I was barely 22. When I saw her, she was a thinking woman. She mastered the technique, but she also thought, what do I do with this technique? How do I relate this technique to the contemporary situations, to the environment? This was the time of the nation building activity, and in the nation building activity she thought she has to contribute something, not just do classical dance performances.
Encouraged by her scientist husband Vikram Sarabhai, she founded her own academy Darpana in Gujarat to teach and propagate classical dance and music.
Well, when I married Vikram and came for the first time to Gujarat, I found that there was really no knowledge about South Indian dancing here. There was Garba, of course, and so I started first dancing myself wherever people invited me. Then slowly I thought it is much better to start an academy and let other children learn to dance. And that's how Darpana was formed.
When Mrinalini first started dancing, dance had just come out of the temples, where the space for dancing was tiny. Many of her contemporaries continued to do Bharatanatyam on the stage, covering only the center. So one of her first innovations was in spreading out the dance, in making it wide, filling the stage, making it broad, so that the stage got covered and the audience could see a much larger, much more expansive form of dance. Bharatanatyam has both the masculine and the feminine aspects, the Tandava and the Lasya. But because it was done only by women, it was the Lasya that was predominant. When Mrinalini formed her own group and more men started doing Bharatanatyam, she emphasized on the Tandava or the masculine aspects for both the men and the women, and this made her style of Bharatanatyam not only expansive but extremely vigorous and strong. Rukmini Devi Arundale and my mother Mrinalini were the first two educated pioneers reintroducing Bharatanatyam to the world. But I think being called the foremost exponent of Bharatanatyam was never enough for her. And she started wanting to push the boundaries of the style. She started this very complex group choreography. She took the alphabet of Bharatanatyam and created to abstract thoughts. She threw away lyrics completely. In fact, what she spawned is what we call Bharatanatyam experimentation even today. She had this restlessness of spirit that constantly led her to search for something new. She started working with sound, for instance. She took the bowls, the onomatopoeic syllables of the mridangam, the percussion instrument, and while they were neutral sounds, she imbibed them with meaning and with feeling, like in her piece Memory is a Ragged Fragment of Eternity.
I always wanted a change from Bharatanatyam as it was, and always would add a little thing to Bharatanatyam also to make it a little more interesting. I get fed up with just doing the same thing every day.
Mrinalini was also the first woman ever to learn the all-male style of Kathakali, going on to win its highest accolade, the Veera Shrinkhala. Kathakali was born about 500 years ago as a storytelling dance form in Kerala. Performed in all-night performances in a temple courtyard lit by oil lamps and watched by thousands of people, the makeup and costumes were exaggerated to create a larger-than-life mythic experience. For her own group at Darpana, Mrinalini started looking beyond Bharatanatyam and went to Kerala in search of artists. She found the magnificent male dancer Chatunni Panikar, who became her long-term partner, and soon they were touring the world with a large group of dancers and musicians.
I heard so much about Manushya, which Mrinalini had choreographed somewhere in 1949. And then the first time I could see was in the All India Dance Seminar in 1958 in New Delhi. And it was astounding. The form of Kathakali she had not deviated from, but she had bared the form, taking away all the costumes, color, makeup and what have you, and you could see the strength of the form. And you had a vehicle of Chatunni Panikar, exceptionally brilliant, gifted, good-looking man with his virility, etc. The way he stood there, or way he extended his leg and then looked into the water and saw his first mirror, the story of man came alive. And the entire galaxy of the dancers, musicians, painters, scholars, writers, they were astounded what Mrinalini had created. Now this is the power of her contemporary thinking. This is the power that, having known Kathakali as a dance form, she was able to bring out the essence of the dance form in a most magnificent manner. If the contemporary dance began in India, from the tradition, this is where it began.